Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome. I'm setting up the live stream right now, getting things going. There we go. Okay. Welcome, friends. Hello, I'm Dr. Justine Limos. In this live stream, I'm talking about polyvagal nerve theory, the sacred nervous system, as well as the goddess Durga, the science of the nervous system, and the cosmic map of Vedic astrology, and how we can use all these tools to guide us back to inner safety and sacred strength. Right now, we are in Navaratri, the 9 nights of the goddess. And I always like to say that I started studying these systems of Vedic wisdom almost 25 years ago. So it is with great humility and great reverence to my teachers that I offer any pearls from this great current, this great ocean of wisdom. So just go ahead, maybe close your eyes, take a couple of long, deep breaths. So let's talk about the nervous system, which is our internal compass for safety and connection and vitality. And according to polyvagal theory, we move through states. Those are the ventral vagal, which is calm and connected and open. And in Vedic theory, this is really the state of sattva, the guna, the quality of sattva, which then is related to the goddess Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and knowledge. The next state that we can move into is the sympathetic state, which is fight or flight. It's activation. And this is the guna that's called rajas, or action or activity. And this has a relationship to the goddess current Lakshmi. If you're out there with me, go ahead and say hi. I'd love to hear from you. It's always feels, like you're talking to who knows who. And then there's the dorsal vagal, which is freeze and shut down and collapse. And this is the tamasic state, the inert state. And this relates to the goddess Kali. So we have these 3 forms of the goddess that relate to the 3 gunas, which relate to the 3 really primal colors for humanity. I'm an anthropologist, and I'm deeply invested in the study of cultural anthropology as well as biological anthropology, and what makes us all biologically similar, right? And cross-culturally, the colors black, white, and red are of great importance because they're fundamental colors, and they relate to the 3 states of tamas, black, and rajas, red, and white, sattva, of course, which relate to these 3 primal goddesses from the Tantric and Vedic tradition. So Durga is the goddess who rides on a lion. And in my polyvagal nerve workshop that's coming up on Sunday, I'm going to tell 3 different myths of the goddess Durga that relate to these 3 different states of the nervous system. So Durga is the living blueprint of regulated, compassionate strength. She sits in the eye of the storm with a little smile of compassion on her face, completely at ease in the middle of chaos. In the Devi Mahatmya, Durga arises when the gods have lost all of their power and they're overrun by chaos, which is indicated by the asuras, the demons. And she's born from their combined Shakti, riding a lion fully armed and fully centered. So she doesn't create destruction or change through rage, but she restores order through clarity. And she teaches us that true power is nervous system sovereignty, responding, not reacting. She fights while seated. She's poised and in her center. She holds many, many weapons that we can talk about, but also has a lotus and a smile. So we're remembering our capacity when we call on this archetype, this luminous blueprint, to hold complexity with grounded fierceness. We can also talk about the nervous system from the perspective of Vedic astrology. I'm a Vedic astrologer. I offer readings to clients, and then also prashna, where we answer a single question through the systems of divination, which are quite magical. In Vedic astrology, the moon rules over the mind, specifically the emotional mind. And the brain is like a curved fist with the higher primate function here, and then wrapped in the center is the emotional mammalian brain, and then down at the base is the reptilian brain. And all three aspects of the brain, of the nervous system, of the brain, relate to different planetary energies. The moon is the emotional brain, Mercury is the intellectual brain, Buddha, and then the reptilian brain, which rules over our nervous system, and the marrow in the bones is Mars, Maja. And if you know anything about Vedic astrology, if you don't, it's okay. I'm opening a Vedic astrology study group in May. You're all invited to join. Your nakshatra, your lunar mansion, shows your emotional rhythm and your regulation style. So if you know what nakshatra, what star sign is your star sign, and if you don't know your star sign, this is not like a new age terminology star sign. It's called the nakshatra. It is the lunar mansion that the moon moves through. It's a subdivision of the signs that you might know into 27 star signs. And each one of those star signs has a specific energy, and it shows your emotional rhythm and regulation style. For example, those of you with a Shlesha moon might be sensitive and coiling and might freeze under stress. You might go into freeze. The Rohini moon is very sensual and expressive, but can get really overattached or can get inflamed. She's the red star. So we can work with the chart to give you a soul level nervous system map. And then we can even see the phase of the moon and those goddesses, and then use their blueprint and affirmations to give you remedies and tools for your liberation from your karmic tendencies. So this is a little bit about the nervous system and the goddess. And there is a great deal of work we can do to change the nervous system and to shift between that which is tamas and that which is rajas and that which is sattvic, to move from the dorsal to the sympathetic to the ventral nervous states. And so those three main states, that the bottom of the ladder is the shutdown and freeze and numbness and collapse. That's really tamas or darkness or inertia. And then the sympathetic is fight and flight. And that's rajas or movement or intensity or desire or chaos. And none of these are right or wrong. It's noticing where we are. And then the ventral vagal state at the top of the ladder is sattva, clarity and harmony and light and intelligence. And we're constantly moving between these states, climbing and slipping on the ladder, if you like that metaphor, shifting between the gunas, and each has its role. It's really important to have a tamasic state. It's really important to be able to get things done. And so the goal is not to banish tamas or rajas, but to recognize them, to befriend them, and to know how to move them skillfully. The goddess Durga, because we're in this Navaratri, but I really think that this archetype, this luminous blueprint, shows us this path. She's born from the stillness and shadow of tamas, and then she battles through the rajas of chaos, the chaos of rajas, the inner demons and the fragmentation that we all experience. And then she emerges into the clear light of sattva, integrated, sovereign, and compassionate. So these are some of the thoughts that I'm thinking about right now. And then, of course, there is a lot going into the Vedic astrology right now. And I'll talk a little bit about that right now, and also how it relates to various states of mind. Almost all the planets right now are in Pisces. So there's very strong Piscean influence. We've got Sun in Pisces, Moon in Pisces. Moon has moved over to Taurus. Sun is in Pisces, Mercury's in Pisces, Venus is in Pisces, Mars is over in Cancer. Jupiter is over in Taurus, conjunct the moon today. The moon just moved from Ardra Nakshatra to Rohini Nakshatra. Saturn is in Pisces. Rahu is in Pisces. Ketu is across the sky in Virgo. But this alignment brings through a lot of intuition and compassion and spiritual insight. Today's a day for creativity and nurturing and material comforts because the moon is in Rohini, the red star. Venus is conjunct Rahu in Pisces. And so this can really amplify desires and bring really unexpected developments in relationships and in artistic pursuits. Mars is going back into Cancer for debilitation. Mars has been going forward and back, and it goes back into Cancer where, he's starving. This is a place where that planetary energy that is Mars that rules over the third chakra is debilitated. And so this can bring blockages around our emotional expression, our assertiveness, and it can be hard to create mindful action, and it can be hard to be patient. We are on the 6th day of the waxing moon today, Shukla Paksha Shasti. This is the 6th day of the waxing moon cycle. It's a very beautiful day, and every day, every lunar phase is ruled over by a different Titi, a different Nitya goddess. This is something that I have had the great privilege to study quite deeply with some of my teachers. And so the goddess today is Vajeshwari, which is the adamant goddess. And she's very beautiful. She has her right hand holds a goad and a pomegranate fruit. Her left hand holds a sugarcane bow and a noose, and she's all dressed in red. And so she is Vajeshwari, which means the diamond goddess or the unshakable goddess or the adamant goddess. And her affirmations are, I allow myself to be confident. I allow myself to be strong. I allow myself to realize things. So sorry, friends, because of this strong Piscean influence that we're under right now, we really want to support meditation, introspection, creative visualization, affirmations. Be aware of heightened emotions and desires because Venus and Rahu are really conjunct. Try to be really clear in your communications. And then Mars debilitated in Cancer, it's really important to pay attention to digestive health right now and to manage stress through calming activities or even through vagal nerve regulation, like I'm going to be teaching on Sunday. Go ahead and say hello if you're on with me. I'm so glad that you're joining. And let me know if you have any questions. Hari Om Tat Sat.